Welcome to the GTN Show!
Yeah, welcome. Taylor Knibb has well and truly stolen the headlines this week. We'll explain why in a moment.
Yeah, Sebastian Kienle has unfortunately been involved in a horrific collision with a car whilst in a gravel race.
And Strava is out to catch the cheaters using AI.
Yeah, and we have excitement and drama building as we near the closure of Olympic qualification.
Okay, starting as we always do with React, some of the stuff we've seen on the internet over the last week or so, and starting with a bit of a negative reaction because Sebastian Kienle, doing a gravel race, now retired from triathlon, was hit by a car.
Oh, yeah, this didn't look good.
The photo looked really bad.
So this is part of, I think it's called the Three Rides Aachen race. I think it was one of the UCI kind of world tour sort of or sanctioned races. So a high level and caliber racing. And I've heard from reports that multiple cars got onto the course or were crossing over the course. And unfortunately, Sebi was caught up.
Yeah, well, it only takes one car, and unfortunately, Sebi was caught by one of them. It's not as bad as that photo looks. In fact, he's posted since then of him actually walking on the treadmill in his recovery. It looked worse than it was, thankfully.
He still did hit a car at 45 kilometers an hour.
And his bike took the brunt of it, yeah, for sure. Not very good, and yeah, we wish him all the best in his recovery. Never nice to see cyclists getting hit by cars. It's, yeah, horrible. Moving on, some more celebratory mood, and this is from the Netherlands team at the recent World Triathlon Cup in Huatulco, Mexico. The Netherlands had plenty to celebrate. We'll get to everything that they had to celebrate later on when we talk about this race. But Richard Murray crossing the line there, and yeah, we have done it. Won the race, secured top 40 and a bonus top 10. Really cool for the Netherlands team there, and they had everything to play for at that race. So it was exciting to see them do that. We'll talk about that. That's Olympics and mixed relay coverage coming up later.
Yeah, back to some maybe not so great news. We talked about the crash at the WTCS race last week, and well, we're seeing sort of the aftermath of that. Dorian Connings, unfortunately, has fractured his wrist. However, he's saying he's getting back to training as fast as possible, and Paris 2024 is very much still on the cards, and he's fired up and ready for that. But you've got to wonder what the French team are thinking now with
that is
selection.
a difficult one. Yeah, I mean, leave Vincent Louis out. Don't put him in your team while you are putting someone in who's fractured their wrist and elbow less than 2 months before the event. And you kind of think, oh, they might be missing a trick there. But also, you don't want to see Dorian Connings miss out on the Olympics if he could potentially be ready.
And he literally definitely is a clear favourite, bar the incident. So, yeah, really tough one. Also, 70.3 Morro Bay. Did you see this one?
Oh, yeah. I saw the social media was going off a little bit on this in some of the forums. Apparently, 307 people, or maybe more, DNF'd in the swim segment. And this was because they swam out with the current and then turned and came back into the current, and people just were not moving. Like, staying stationary no matter how hard they swam. And apparently the current was picking up and picking up and picking up as they were going. So
as they're getting more tired, it's getting harder.
The slower swimmers further back were getting more current to the point that people just couldn't get out the water. And it was also like 13 degrees water, so it was cold anyway. And when you planned to spend maybe 40 minutes in there and you were getting up to an hour in there, people were getting hypothermia. It was not ideal.
You know, there's swimmers where it's like a long out and back, and it just seems like the buoy is just not getting any closer. You're just swimming endlessly. Do you wonder if they had the same thing?
Just like, it's okay, it's okay. Actually, one of the posters did say on the forum I read, he said, I didn't really realize how badly I had swum. I just felt like, the second half's taking a lot longer than normal. That's how I always feel in swims. It always sucks. And then I got out and saw that my time was 9 minutes slower than I would normally swim for this distance. Wow. And I was like, wow, that was a slow second half.
Yeah. Well, finally, also, Jonas Dijkman, as we mentioned last week's show, he is underway with his 120 iron distance challenge, completing, hopefully, 120 iron distance triathlons. We won't maybe mention him in every single week show because that might get a little bit boring. But I guess this first couple of weeks is really kind of the making of it and seeing if he's kind of ready for it. And he has just, he's on day 12 now, it'll be day 13 by the time you guys are watching this show. So he's
1/10 of the way through.
Yeah, sizable chunk in. And looked really cool this weekend. You know, like the community came out, had the Roth banner up and all sorts. So yeah, wicked. And
looks good when the sun's shining. On those pouring rain days though that he's posted a few of. Less so. Got some certain challenges going for him too. He's also swimming outdoors and like when storms and stuff come through. Ooh. Anyway, he's Mark seems to think he's broken the back of it, 10% in, but I guess he's finding his rhythm. Good luck to him.
Okay, now for the Tri News and Taylor Knibb. Wow, she has absolutely stolen the show this week. Not only obviously has she qualified for the Olympic triathlon event, she has now gone and qualified for the individual time trial.
Yep. I think, as far as we know, the only athlete so far for Paris 2024 who's qualified in 2 different sports. And this was only 5 days after she came second at the WTCS Yokohama on her way to doing the individual triathlon and the mixed relay triathlon at the Olympic Games in Paris. She has now won the US National Time Trial Championships for cycling and qualified as in the USA team for the time trial.
And she got it quite convincingly, 11 seconds over second place. And these are pro cyclists, so to be mixing up with them is absolutely phenomenal. So she completed a 33.7 kilometre course in 41 minutes and 54 seconds. Obviously now the next bit we've got to consider is her Olympic schedule.
Yeah, I mean, this was always in the plan. It wasn't like she's just like done it. She literally has been planning this for. She came 4th last year at the National Time Trial Champs and was like, I can do better than that. And she's been working with a new cycling coach for the last year or so, and this was always in the plan. However, yeah, it does bring quite difficult Olympic scheduling into the mix now. So they are fairly well spaced, just out of luck, because I mean they could have easily put the time trial on the same day as the triathlon, right? 27th of July is the individual time trial, so she's going to do that first. 31st of July, 4 days later, is the individual triathlon, and then the 5th of August is the mixed relay. And I think, the individual triathlon and the mixed relay, not an issue. But you do have to kind of think, where's her best chance of a medal here? And is it worth doing an individual time trial where, I mean, physically it's probably not going to do too much harm to race that, but things can go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you could hit a pothole, you could come down, and that's all your other chances gone. And that's not really a reason not to try something, but also, I don't know.
It's a hard one, isn't it? I mean, I'm absolutely in awe of Taylor Knibb. It's amazing.
How can you not
the
be?
calibre, though, of women's cycling is quite phenomenal. And not to discredit anything Taylor's achieved here, the US National Champs, but on a world level, it is really quite another step on. So I don't think this necessarily means, I'd love to be proven wrong, I don't think she's necessarily going to be competing for a medal in the individual time trial when you've got the people like Marianne Vos and people rocking up. But I'd love to be proven wrong on that one.
Well, yeah, if anyone can do it,
exactly.
Taylor Knibb. But yeah, we'd also like to see her win gold at the triathlon, so maybe risking it all for an individual time trial. Anyway, still really impressive that she's just qualified for all 3 of those already. Very impressive.
Absolutely amazing.
Well done to her.
Well, moving on, PTO have announced something quite exciting, really. Something we've all been asking for, and I'm sure many of you, having watched the PTO live coverage, data. We've just wanted more data. Yeah,
so they've joined with a digital platform company, digital platform experts called We Are Suite, which is a very weird name for a company, but these guys specialize in digital platforms and bringing all the data that you get from a race and from your athletes onto the screen live so you can see it, which means hopefully in the PTO coverage of these T100 events, we're going to see more and more information on screen about how athletes are racing, what exactly is going on within their bodies, their power meters, all of that kind of stuff. They are also saying that they're going to revolutionize the back end of kind of the PTO, so like the world ranking system, and also the stats that you get on each athlete, on each race, and all that kind of stuff, which is only a good thing, right? More data, more stuff to digest for all of us triathlon pundits.
Definitely. I mean, that real-time data during a race is the bit that I think we're all really excited about.
Hankering for that for a
long
time.
The power, the heart rate, all the wearable data
GPS,
just appearing and merged with, the GPS data would be amazing. Anyway, moving on. If you haven't done so already, check out our video from this weekend. James takes on Daniela Rief's training for a week in South Africa in the lead up to Ironman South Africa, alongside Daniela Rief, should add.
She literally broke me. I was broken when I came home.
But that was all part of a video with MUUVR, which is an exciting new app where you can earn points through your exercise. EXPs, I believe you call it.
EXP, yeah.
And you can spend those points.
Well, you earn the XP and then you get moves, and you can spend the moves in the MUUVR marketplace, and you buy all kinds of things like tri-suits and bags and all kinds of stuff is on there. So download the app and check that out. And we have a competition where they are giving away a Daniela Rief race suit, also a pair of Hokers, and also a Q36.5 jersey. That's her kit sponsor. And so you can enter that. You have to download the app and you have to do a streak of 5 movements in 5 days. On the app, you have to join the GTN world on that app, and then complete 5 movements in 5 days, and you'll be entered into the competition to win all those goodies from Daniela Rief. But even if you don't win the competition, you can still earn moves that you can then literally buy free triathlon.
It's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? I mean, most of you are actually doing something every day.
Yeah, you just link whatever your tracker is to the app, and it'll give you points every time you go out and exercise.
Free points.
Yeah, free points, which turns into free kit. It's pretty cool.
The link is in the description down below. And also, whilst you're at it, don't forget that we still have a couple of days left on our Ergon Saddle competition. So Ergon have released their new triathlon saddle range, and we have a giveaway coming. So they've got 2 male and 2 female saddles available. You've got the opportunity to get one. Again, link in the description down below. A couple of days left.
Good luck. Now it's time for What the Tech. Not much tech news this week, but Strava has announced some new rollouts of some updates. They haven't actually updated them yet. Mark checked his Strava. He doesn't have dark mode yet. He's been waiting for so long for dark mode, but dark mode is coming. That's not their biggest announcement, that it was included in the announcement.
Apparently it was. If you looked at their social media, apparently it's what everyone's been asking for.
I don't know why. Anyway, they have integrated AI, which is going to improve their leaderboard integrity, it says, because it's going to help rule out or identify irregular, improbable, and impossible activities to make sure that the leaderboards are a little bit more accurate. And I think that's probably been needed for quite a while.
They're going to be catching on to your e-bikes into work.
Yeah, exactly. Your e-bikes into work, Mark. They also have the addition of athlete intelligence, which is AI that's going to actually help contextualize your efforts. So it's going to look at your previous efforts and see how hard you're actually working, and can actually kind of help you towards your goals if it knows what your goals are, whether that was helpful for your goal or whether you've doing something wrong. So that's a good improvement, I suppose. There's a few other things too. They're also helping to build the platform for women.
Yeah, so one of those features actually is a nighttime heat map. So if you've not used heat map before, you can basically go onto their map and you can see regular routes that people are taking. So you can go and plan a route accordingly. Now you can flip it to nighttime. So say you're doing a run before or after sunrise, then you can, or before sunrise, after sunset, you probably should clarify.
After sunrise, yeah.
Then you can see where people then are taking runs more regularly, so therefore hopefully being more
so you can see everyone runs there during the day, and then no one runs there at night.
Exactly.
That's where the dodgy people come on. Not to be confused with dark mode, which is something completely different, as we've covered. Also, there was one other thing that they got to roll out, and that's a new family subscription plan. So basically, you and 3 other people within your family can share a subscription on Strava instead of each of you having individual accounts. Also, to be rolled out, not yet rolled out.
Now for race news, kicking off with the championship race in Samarin.
Yeah, exciting racing. India Lee back on the top step after her win earlier in the year. India Lee took the win there by almost 3 minutes ahead of Laura Madsen in second, with Anna Bergston in third.
Yeah, and on the men's side, it was Carl Smith that took the win there, and really impressive time. 3 hours, 27 minutes and 10 seconds, which we believe is the second fastest middle distance time behind Martin van Riel from 70.3 Dubai. correct us if we're wrong on that one.
Ever, yeah. We're not statisticians, so we might be wrong. Frederik Funk was second with Christian Huchenhaug in third there. Then there was Ironman Lanzarote. Annie Haug is back to fitness after suffering with a bit of injury earlier in this year. And boy, is she back. Yeah. She didn't hang around. She obviously had somewhere to be because she won that race by 43 minutes, I think it was.
She's probably been back to a hotel room, had a shower, got changed, had some dinner, came back and congratulated second place.
Jean Calange, yeah. And then Lydia Dent was third. But yeah, she biked the 5:17 and then ran a 2:49 off it to win by 43 minutes. Now, congratulations, and it's great to see her back and everything, but there's a whole lot of racing still happening this year, and you have to question whether going that far to the well, and I don't care how good you are, you're going to the well to run that time on the Lanzarote.
Maybe she's not, James.
Oh, yeah, maybe she was cruising easy. No, yeah, hopefully she didn't burn any matches for those T100 races later on in the season.
Well, the men's race, that was won by Kenneth van der Rijske, in second, Jordi Moya, and in third, Mikel Ramos.
And then there was Ironman Brazil, which was pretty much an all-Brazilian affair, with Pamela Oliveira taking first, Marian Andrade in second, and Bruna Stolf in third. And on the men's side, Ronaldo Colucci took the win ahead of Igor Amarelli, with Louis Ode in third. Yeah. All from Brazil.
Very impressive by a couple of new names there. And we also had 70.3 Chattanooga, which was one of the Ironman Pro Series events. So a lot to be paid for, really. The men's side, that was won by Matt Hansen, as we expect and got used to with Matt Hansen. An impressive run split, 109.48.
You know, you ran from 8th to 1st.
Oh, wow. Second place, Jackson Laundry, and in third, Trevor Foley.
And on the women's side, Emma Pallant-Brown won
just on
again
fire.
A week after the last win. Yeah, Jack Heron in second and Sarah True in third. That actually takes Emma Pallant-Brown up to second in the Pro Series rankings. Obviously, you have to kind of take that into context because 5 races count and no one's got more than 3 really yet. But still, she's up to second. Matt Hansen actually goes to the top of those Pro Series rankings because he got 7th, I think, in Texas and did Oceanside. So yeah, the rankings are changing all the time in that Pro Series, but we don't really know where they're all going to shake out towards the end of the season, being the first time we've ever seen a Pro Series like this.
Yeah, we also had quite a challenging course, 70.3 Aix-en-Provence this weekend. On the women's side, that was won by Marion Legrand, second, Hannah Devet, and in third, Julie Imolo.
Hannah Devet, actually, the girlfriend of Hayden Wild. And he was there supporting her on the course.
That's cool to see.
Yeah. On the men's side, Ruben Zaponct took the win ahead of Simon Viain and Louis Neurt from Belgium in third.
And we also had the World Cup in Hotodco in Mexico. As we mentioned earlier, Richard Murray took the win ahead of Matthias Bewley in second and John Reed in third.
Yeah, and on the women's side, Alberto Pedersen from Denmark took the win ahead of Rachel Klammer from the Netherlands in second, with Solveig Lothseth in third from Norway. It was also the mixed relay, which actually happened before that individual relay, and quite a lot to play for here. Basically, let's explain quickly, because this was the cutoff for the mixed relay qualification for the Paris Olympic Games. This was the last chance for any teams to qualify. Now, there were already 9 teams qualified. That includes Team France, Great Britain, and Germany, who were already confirmed, plus the points qualifiers, which were New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, USA, Italy, and Portugal. And then there was this event in Hotodco, mixed relay, and those teams that were already qualified were not allowed to even field a team. They were not allowed to compete. And the first 2 teams here at this event, this mixed relay event, got the golden ticket, as it were, to put a team into the Olympic Games. And that meant, obviously, there was quite a lot of drama and quite a lot of investment for our federations to send whole teams there to try and get these spots, because it not only means that your team gets in, but it's almost like a backdoor for athletes to get an Olympic Games experience, because they might not be high enough in the individual ranking, or their country might not have enough spots in the individual to actually send all of them. But this way they can still get in the games. Unfortunately, there was a lot of drama, wasn't there?
Well, there was. I mean, first off, South Africa, they were obviously vying for a spot, and it was all over very quickly. Yeah, I know. Sorry, James. Jamie Riddle hit a pothole on the bike. And
he was like in the lead out of the water and leading, in the front group on the bike on that first leg, and hit a pothole, went over his handlebars, game over for the whole team. The rest of them didn't even get to start. And they had a pretty strong team with Henry Schumann in there. So that's disappointing. Then in Canada, second leg, Sophie Howell took a slight wrong turn going into the water and went in the swim exit, I think. Although they did carry on and they finished 5th, which they wouldn't have qualified anyway, they were immediately disqualified. So that was heartache for them. The winning 2 spots then, who got theirs golden tickets, were Norway, who took the win, and Netherlands, who got 2nd place.
However, the Netherlands still needed a little bit of work to do to actually take that spot.
So they qualified their team. They got that golden ticket with one caveat. You have to have athletes eligible for selection in the Olympic Games, which means your athletes have to be in the top 140 in the world. And Mitch Kolkman in their team was only ranked 146th when he raced that relay. So he had to do well in that individual event 2 days later on the Sunday. Luckily for them, he did. He did do well, so he got enough points, and that was why we saw all those amazing celebrations on the Instagram there, because Richard Murray had got his immediate spot by winning that event. He now represents the Netherlands. He's actually switched from South Africa. If you're wondering why he's in the Netherlands, a couple of years ago he switched over to race for the Netherlands. He had to do a 2-year ineligibility period, but now he's eligible, and he's going to go to the Olympic Games for the Netherlands. So he stamped his ticket at the same time. They managed to get enough points to get the rest of their team over.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite impressive. They had Gelt Panya came in 8th, and then Mitch Kolkman, who was kind of the athlete that could bump them up in the rankings, into the top 140, finished in 9th, which, I mean...
bumps all the way up to 110.
Impressive performances of both of them any day, really, so yeah.
Now we know what teams are going to be in the mixed relay. So that'll be an exciting race in the Olympic Games. Coming up this week, we have 70.3 Kraichgau in Germany.
Yeah, and apparently... so I've heard, Jess Learmonth is using this race as her kind of comeback post-pregnancy, maternity. And I mean, she had a baby in September. I believe she started back running in January. And yeah, she's going for it. 70.3. She did actually do a 70.3 back in 2022, where she finished 3rd in Ironman 70.3 Lanzarote. But yeah, if she is doing this, it'll be very exciting to see.
Yeah, good luck to her. There's also Challenge So Important this weekend, and WTCS Cagliari, which we've spoken about a little bit because the mixed relay has now finished their qualification for the Olympic Games, but the individual qualification ends on the 27th of May, so this weekend. This is the last race where people can put their hat in the ring, as it were, and show their form and get selected by their teams, by their countries, including the British team. And there's everything to play for in that team. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. We'll definitely be tuning in.
Okay, now for our new section of the show, which we still need to formally name.
Naming is the name of the game, isn't it, Mark?
But
first we've got to get a name for the name. So let's see what some of the people suggested. Idle Gumrock said, try to guess.
Matt Barrett said, Tridentity.
That's not bad. Chris Joe Scott said, Tridentify.
I
prefer
like
that one.
Yeah. Neil and Pike. Neil and Parker.
I think it's Neil Ian Parker.
I think it is Neil and Parker.
Or Neilin. I don't know. Maybe we'll
said, try Spy. I quite like that.
Try Spy. Try Spy with my little eye. I like that. Or try ID. Or try Zoom. Or GTN. Guess the name.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Clever.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
I feel like we need something different. So
okay.
Should we get
Try Spy?
Try Spy, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right. Last week we had this image, and apparently it was way too easy. I mean, we had like over 40 of you.
I did tell you, James. I told you.
Away. I said that you said let's zoom out a little bit more and give them a chance. So anyway, this time we're going to make it a little bit more challenging so that you don't get it. We're probably too challenging while we try and calibrate this game.
So now you've got a fingernail.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not that challenging. Let's zoom out a little bit more and give you this. Can you tell us who that is? Can you spy who that is?
I reckon they've got it.
You reckon? Well, leave your answer down below if you think you do have it. And we also still need to sort out the prizes. We'll figure out a prize to send you.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we haven't made it too easy or too hard.
Exactly. We can't send out like 50 prizes every week. That would be impossible. So good luck. If you know who it is, leave it down below. Leave a comment down below. There was a comment last week, moving on to our Say What segment.
Yeah. You're trying to avoid saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, yeah, go on then.
We had a comment on Mark's game last week where he accused Emma Brown of having a bum chin.
Well, I mean, I was complimentary. I was saying that, oh, look, whoever that person is has a bum chin, like me, actually. And then I did try and
Clearly
back up by saying, actually, I get a lot of compliments about my bum chin.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, I wasn't trying to be rude.
Now that Mark dug himself out of that hole, should we do actual say what, Mark?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Say what?
Okay. Well, under my video, which we spoke about earlier, the MUUVR video where I went and trained with Daniela Reef, we had this from Shihuchin. Crazy, Daniela was still pushing this kind of training while dealing with a glute injury. No complaints, just checking the boxes. Yeah, she was checking boxes while she also managed to injure me in the process. She wasn't in perfect form, and I think we kind of knew that. She still, despite the injury, raced Ironman South Africa. Checked that box and got her qualification sorted for Nice. She has gone home and started her rehab. She had a bit of time off and started rehab to get ready for the rest of the races of the season, including what will be her swan song at Ironman World Champs in Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, well, great video. And if you want to check that out, then you can do so already. And stay tuned because this weekend we have a follow-up of our beginner swim series that we've been doing with Harry. Many of you watched that first video where Harry basically trying to overcome his fear of water and swimming, which he has sort of already accomplished, but now we're trying to get him swimming further, doing a width, doing a length. Stay tuned, you can watch that this weekend.
Very exciting. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.